Falsies! So today's video is going to be a Kendall Jenner inspired look. I kind of feel weird saying that because I get so many comments telling me that I look like her. It's actually become a kind of a joke between me and my friends when I get comments like this, and I started having people tell me that in real life. I really find it funny and also flattering. I mean, come on, she's gorgeous. And I also found it funny that I have the exact same shirt as her. This is kind of a, I don't know, 3 years old. So when I saw the picture, I get the comments, I just find it kind of ironic, and this is a more kind of everyday easy look to accomplish that I use mostly drugstore products in. So yeah, that's what I came up with today. So if you are interested in seeing how I got this look, keep watching. Okay, so I already applied foundation just to save on time. I did mix two foundations. I mixed two by CoverGirl. The first one was in TruBlend, and then the second is one of my faves. This is the Stay Fabulous Outlast 3-in-1. So I'm kind of in between colors, and I do like both of these, so I mix those two together and just apply foundation. Next up, we are going to do some brows. She always kind of has stronger brows, and even since I was little, I did have strong brows as well, but we go through those stages and we pluck a little bit too much, but mine are just kind of, you know, the same they have been for quite a while. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just going to do my regular routine, but make them a little bit more stronger, just like Kendall's. For my brows, I'm going to be using NYX Eyebrow Powder. This is kind of a palette with a light brown and a brown color in it. I love this. This is what I've been using a lot anyhow. And an angled brush. I'm just going to dip it into the darkest color and start under my brow and draw a line all the way throughout. Light strokes. And just kind of define the bottom of the brow. That's a good place to start if you're getting used to drawing in your brows. Just start at the bottom of your brow and connect it to the end with light strokes. So you can see that just defining the bottom of your brow makes a big difference. Now I'm just going to use light strokes going up just to kind of fill it in and give it a more natural look. And then for the front of the brow, I just like to straighten out my brush and just kind of flick it. Start at the beginning and just kind of flick it upwards and inwards. Okay, so first brow done. So now that we have our brows done, I'm going to just prime my eyelids. I personally cannot go without primer. My eyeshadow won't stay put unless I do, so this is just a necessary step for me. So for eyeshadow, she kind of has a more bronzy look in this picture. Typically she goes for the bronzy looks anyhow, so I'm going to be using my Adorable palette by NYX, and I'm just going to be taking the two brown colors in here, starting with the lightest, and working them into my crease above my kind of eyelid. Okay, so starting off with kind of the teddy bear brown, I'm just going to take a little bit of that and work it into my crease. So now that we have a little bit of color, I am going to just blend out and make those edges seamless. The Kardashians are known for kind of like the bronzy, messy, smoky look. So placing it in the perfect spot isn't really necessary. Just lay down some bronzy colors in your crease to start out with, and then we can start packing up color from there. Okay, so now going in with a more defined fluffy brush, I am going to pick up the darkest color in the palette, which is kind of like a dark brown, and I'm going to place that in the outer V. This I'm going to be a little bit more gentle with, just because I don't want it to be too smoky, but it's still those circular motions, just keeping it in the outer V. just like to make sure that while I'm laying down color, I am kind of using circular motions to make sure everything is blended. Like that. Again, I always go back with a fluffier brush and just kind of lightly dust the edges. Darts. I like to make sure that you really can't tell where the makeup starts and ends. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab my liner. I've been using the NYX Liquid Eyeliner. I don't love it, but it's very affordable. So I'm going to be doing a cat wing, which is my signature kind of look anyways, but it also kind of looks like she has it here. She normally does too, so I'm going to go ahead and go with that. So I'm just making sure that this line is as close to my lash line as possible. So while my liner kind of sets, I'm going to be working on the bottom lash line. I'm going to go back in with the colors I used in my crease, but I'm going to be grabbing a pencil brush. Starting off with the lighter brown color, I'm just going to work that in my outer bottom of my lash line and into there. Just kind of defining the eye a bit. You can already see the difference that defining your eye a bit makes. Now for the darker brown color, I'm going to grab a very defined angled brush just because I want to kind of be neat with this into the dark brown color and only use that into the outer edges. So it does also look like she has a white or nude color eyeliner just in her bottom lash line, so I'm going to go ahead and just apply a little bit of this. Again, you can see the difference, just makes your eyes pop. It also looks like she has a very kind of gold shimmery color on the lid and into the inner corner. So I'm going to go ahead and just grab my gold color from my It's Judy Time palette. It's in the bottom corner right here, and I'm going to apply it to the lid and bring it a little bit into the inner corner. Taking kind of a small brush so I'm able to get right on that lid and just patting that on there. Now that we have that, I am just going to go ahead and blend that out. So if you feel like you lost any depth in your crease, you can always go back, grab your brush into the darkest color, and just add it into the crease. I like to do this after my liner and after I see how everything's coming out, and add a little bit more color. Alright, now I'm going to grab my little Mary Luminizer. This is a highlighter. I'm going to just pat that into my inner corner. This is just gonna make those babies pop. Okay, so as always, she has a very highlighted face, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab my, what is this, Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and this is in the color Brightener, so just the Brightener. And I like to just apply a little bit of this in kind of like a fan motion, like this. So just like bead it out right there. Have something that looks like that. I add a little bit up here, a little bit on my chin, Cupid's bow, and then I use this little brush and I just kind of blend it out. little bit of mascara, I'm going to be adding up these three because I don't want to put on false lashes. So you can put on false lashes and do this, but I'm just going to do this and just give my lashes a little bit of oomph. First, I'm going to be applying my Miss Manga Voluminous. I like this to start out with. Second, Maybelline Falsies Volume Express. With the right mascaras, I feel like I can get away without wearing false lashes, and it also doesn't really look like she's wearing false lashes in this look, so I'm just going to load these up without making them clumpy. So that is what I have for mascara. So she always has kind of a really strong contour, so what I'm going to be doing is kind of mixing a bunch of products to create one. The first being this Mary Kay bronzing powder with an angled brush, just dipping that right in, sucking those cheeks. Just kind of following that line. A little bit on the forehead. Down the chin. And you can see the difference. On the sides of the nose because I got a big schnoz. I'm going to go into my NYX. This is a sun-kissed finishing powder. It has a little bit of pinky in it, so I like to use this as just like a swirl. Also helps blend everything out. There we go. I'm going to blend the whole face together with a fluffy brush. Now it's time for her lips. The first product I'm going to be using is by Milani. This is just their color statement lip pencil. This is in the color Spice. It's a little bit darker than the very muted lip that she has going on, but we're going to be layering on top some different colors to make it look more like hers in the picture. For lipstick, I'm going to be using one of Maybelline's Color Sensational. This is in the color Blushing Beige. This is a very muted color, just like the one she has in the picture. And I'm going to mainly apply that in the center of the lips. And then blend a little bit with my finger. And that is basically the finished look. So kind of a super simple look, but it's nice too for every day. I try to use all drugstore products. I typically use drugstore anyways. So like I said, this is kind of a running joke. I always get comments saying I look like Kendall Jenner. So people started telling me that in real life. It's now a joke between me and my friends because she is absolutely gorgeous. And I guess to get that compliment is very nice. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any other requests for looks, leave them below. And yeah, I think that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye!